Hi, this is Roy Pollock from Santa Barbara Wargaming, and we're doing our second feature on bug hunt corridors. So in our last video, we did the unboxing with the intimidatingly large amount of stuff we bought. And then a while ago, we recorded this video to show how fast you could actually assemble this once you got used to it. So this is one of the corridor straight sections, of which I believe there are 6 in the package. And I'm going to basically do a speed assembly here. So this is the lower grate part that I'm fitting in. It's a really nice textured piece. Has a nice little detail on it, and it also serves an important structural function. It's basically what's going to keep the piece square while you play. So I'm fitting it together. Note that the fit's pretty nice. That's something I was really impressed with on the Bug Hunt Corridors terrain, is the very seldom that I have to actually kind of force a piece in, and lots of the pieces were either snug or not very loose, so that they held together reasonably while gluing. I believe the site recommends using a high-quality wood glue. I'm too impatient for that, so I'm using Loctite super glue, which cures up really quickly. I may actually go back and bead some wood glue on the terrain pieces at some point. So there I go. I'm holding. Now, after this point, it's basically square. So there's the undergrade. And what I'm doing at this point, before I get too far into things, is I am test fitting the actual, that's the walkway that the actual models will be on. And I'm kind of putting it in there to make sure that the whole thing stays square, and so that I don't have to totally remove it as I put all the little fiddly bits on that can kind of get in the way of total insertion and removal. This is something that's pretty cool. This is what's called the conduit on the plans. It's kind of a mid-level railing, and again, this provides some extra structural support, although it's not quite as key as the lower grades, but it helps reinforce the structures as well as adding some visual interest to the piece. So I'm fitting that on. The straight corridors are the easiest to assemble, but you can also see a somewhat more complicated T intersection hanging up on there. I wasn't going to try to speed build one of those things because fitting the corners together is the one thing that kind of, you can't see where I'm pointing, I'm doing a video. Those kind of inside corners that you see on the T intersection were the one part of the Bug Hunt Corridors terrain that I never really got good at, and that I had a couple of fit problems with. But still, the overall, I mean, it still was maybe a 20-minute build on that large one. So now you can see I've gone back and I've inserted the they've got this little piece of plastic rod that they call the light pipe, and then it's got a little ring on it. This was one that kind of slowed me down at first, but eventually I got kind of good at kind of threading it in there, putting it through one, putting the ring on, attaching the piece together, and then just using a tiny bead of super glue, kind of once it was already on, not really just relying on wicking to fill it into the gap. Because after all, this piece is hardly going to be under strain. And that way you don't have to worry about the glue starting to dry as you're trying to position it. And again, notice I've moved the ring. You want the rings to be centered right on that middle line. But of course, so I moved the ring off, put the glue there, and then moved the ring on. And then these are the railings. Something that I actually did wrong on Bug Hunt Corridors for quite a while is I tried to attach the railings facing up. They don't. They go with the burned, the kind of burned cut edge of the wood facing in, and the little cut parts of the wood facing to the outside of the corridor, as you see there. On the straight corridors, they're pretty much just decoration. On the inside edge, they actually serve a very important fitting component. So now you can see it's been just over 4 minutes, and I'm actually almost done. There's the beautifully textured side wood panel. All the texturing's on the inside with Bug Hunt Corridors. So yeah, I pretty much just slapped the glue on it, fit it on. Now it's starting to look mostly done. Do the same thing on the other side. And then now I verified that I can, in fact, slide it out on this piece. That kind of fitting the floor plate in is more important when the floor plate has a corner in it. Now I'm going to slide it back in, push it down for a few seconds, and there we go. The one thing that I would recommend that I did not do in this quick assembly video is line it up with another piece of terrain to make sure that it's totally square. That's it. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Highly recommend Bug Hunt Quarters. We've really been enjoying them.